very much indeed. Well, hello, and welcome to Friday Night with Jonathan Ross. I've got to tell you something that happened here this week that's absolutely true. I don't know if you know this, but Coldplay did a big gig right out the front there. And I saw something quite tragic happening there because it was a fantastic live gig. And just before it started in the afternoon, I saw some school kids were here. They were touring the studios. They were brought in for a tour, presumably some sort of punishment. They must have been naughty, OK? And they're out the front, about to come to the building, and suddenly Coldplay go out on their stage and they start rehearsing, OK? Coldplay playing live, they're rehearsing live, and there are these school kids standing there. Chris Martin was about 20 feet away, belting out Yellow. It's Coldplay, so close. Gwyneth Paltrow's wandering around somewhere, I think. Jay-Z was watching it. Ricky Gervais was there watching it. They were standing next to the TARDIS, so Doctor Who might have been there as well. These kids could not believe their luck. It's the best school trip in the world ever, right? They're all waiting there. You could just see their little faces. And then the tour guide went, OK, well, it's a bit noisy out here. Let's go inside. Let them all in, poor little sods. And apparently the school's going to make it up to them. Next week, they're all going to Euro Disney because in the village next door is Europe's biggest post office. Let's start by having a look and seeing who's in my green room for your entertainment this evening. My first guest is a boxer. But he's not just any boxer. He is the current super-middleweight champion of the world. He's the sports personality of the year. He is, of course, Joe Calzaghe, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Joe, how's it going? That's Joe. Joe Calzaghe here. World champion at the boxing. Joe is, of course, one of the most feared fighters these islands have ever produced. Probably second only to Naomi Campbell at Baggage Reclaim. My next guest is a writer, comedian and cult leader. He is Mr. Danny Wallace, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Danny has also set up his own country and appointed himself king. That's right, isn't it, Danny?
Yeah, King Danny the First.
Danny Wallace, Danny Wallace is on the show. OK, my next guest is one of the hottest actresses around at the moment. She is the lovely and talented Sienna Miller. Hello, Sienna. How nice to have you here. At last, thank you for joining us.
Nice to be here.
You look absolutely fantastic, of course.
Thank you.
Now, a viewer this week has gone to slightly too much effort, OK? And yes, I am talking about you if you're watching Glass Blower Vic Bamforth, OK? Vic has very kindly sent in something. He's rendered the show in the form of a glass vase, OK? Now, not another one I hear you cry, but no, here it is. Have a look. This is the vase he's made for us of the show. It's a very, you know, very talented piece of work here. And he's done the whole programme on it. So here are the fellas. He's put them in there. This is the idea of what they look like. What do you think of that, guys?
Not bad, not bad.
He's made you lose your hair there.
I know.
OK, and there's our settee. You see there? And this, OK, this apparently is what I look like to him. Shall we get my first guest out, ladies and gentlemen? Please, will you welcome the one and only Joe Calzaghe, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Calzaghe. Sit yourself down. Joe, nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Pleasure.
Wow, who saw Joe boxing? Who saw the big match of the last fight that Joe had? Yeah.
Where my best was it? I know.
No, come on. You won, didn't you?
Yeah, I won a fight, that's the main thing, but it wasn't, like, my best performance.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, because maybe I can give you some tips there. What do you think, where did it go wrong for you? Where do you think you didn't live up to your expectations?
Well, basically, it's hard to fight against somebody who want to hug you all night. You just want to hold on to
so,
you.
But see, that's not your fault, though, is it?
It's not my fault, but, you know, at the end of the day, when you win a fight, you want to look good and you want a performance and be able to have a proper fight for the fans to watch.
Ideally, you want to knock him on the floor, don't you?
I want to smash his head in. Especially somebody like the guy who fought last time.
And now, what was his name again? What was that fella's name?
Hopkins.
Hopkins, OK, Hopkins. And he was talking trash, wasn't he? He was kind of bad-mouthing you beforehand. Yeah. That's what boxers do, isn't it? Do you ever indulge in the trash talking?
I used to, but I grew up a bit. So, like, I'm 36 now, so I sort of quit that.
Wow, there's no way you look 36. And also, you're a bit too good-looking for a boxer, if you don't mind me saying so.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Have you not been punched much in the face?
Yeah, I've been punched a bit, you know. Boxing's a good, you know, it's an art. At the end of the day, it's trying to hit and not be hit, and thank God I'm pretty good at that.
Keep your guard up, that's what you got to do.
Been cut twice in the last 16 months and out of 25 years of boxing, so I think that's telling me something to sort of retire pretty soon.
So you are thinking of turning it in quite soon?
I think my next fight's going to be my last fight.
Wow, your last fight?
Yeah, because, you know, I want to retire undefeated. And that's something that fighters don't do.
Well, that's incredible, because I think only one other boxer has ever retired undefeated. Am I right in saying that? Well, you know, proper world-class boxer.
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, Rocky Marciano is a fight that comes to mind, so that's what I want to do. You know, you can keep getting tempted to fight for money and so on, but at the end of the day, I understand I'm 36 now, and I want to, you know, enjoy life and to get out undefeated it would be amazing.
Am I right in thinking the 36, that's pretty old for a boxer, is that right? Is that kind of...
It's normally pretty old for a boxer, but you consider that Bernard Hopkins was 42.
Wow, he's
pretty
42.
young, yeah.
OK, so you had a big turnout there for the fight in Vegas. Who else was there? Who came to support you and who was there to support the other fella?
You know, from Wales, obviously, we had Tom Jones.
Tom?
There's loads. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce
Catherine
Willis.
Zeta-Jones was there for you?
Yeah.
No, you say from Wales, but Bruce Willis, last time I checked, he's not Welsh, is that right? He's...
No, he's not Welsh.
OK. And you had Simon Cowell there, he's not Welsh. But a lot of people were kind of claiming the sort of Welsh nationality on the evening, weren't they?
Yeah, when I put my hands up, then everybody was my fan, so it was good.
That's a good thing.
Good.
And after the fight, when you've beaten the American guy, did you find that some Americans were also claiming to be Welsh? Were they coming over to your side?
No, to be honest, when you look at it, you could tell how much this guy was liked. There was like 14,000 tickets sold for the fight, and I think 12,000 were basically from Wales and Britain.
Yeah, so really...
So that tell you what a Bernard Hopkins is and how disliked he is. So you can't even sell a ticket in your own place is a problem. You know
I thought you said you didn't do the trash talking. What's going on here?
You got me psyched up now. It's when you take the mickey backstage. You start going me backstage. You know?
How important is it? You know, we were talking about getting in the right state of mind there. How much do you have to want to actually hurt the person, or how much can you go in thinking, OK, this is a sport, I'm just technically going to kind of outplay him? Do you have to feel some sort of animosity towards the person?
Not at all. No, I never have, you know. I never sort of disliked it. In fact, I've had friends that boxed. You know, it's a sport. That's what it is. And
are they still friends after the fight, or is that changed?
Yeah, I win, so that's okay. If I ever got beat, they wouldn't be my friends. So, you know,
what about the guys you've beaten in the past? Do you ever socialise with any of them? Do you ever, I mean, Bernard, I guess you're not going to because you clearly are not that fond of him. But other guys that you either beaten or you sparred with, do you hang out with other boxers?
Yeah, well, Richie Woodwall is a good friend of mine. I think I'm a 10th world title defence against Richie. And it's funny because our dads were also our trainers, and I think it was the first ever world title fight where you had both corners with the fathers and sons.
That's interesting that your dad trained you, because your dad, so I guess did he spot the talent in you early on, or had you already started boxing as a kid when your father got involved?
No, he's just into sport, you know. He loved football, he loved boxing, and basically, you know, he took me to the boxing gym at 10. Plus he took me to football, and I think he realised I was never going to play for Italy. Yeah. And I was not very good at football. I won my first British title at 13, and I stuck with that. So, you know, thankfully I stuck with that.
That's him there. Is that your father there carrying you on his back?
Not bad 59, is he?
Well, you know,
pretty strong for 59-year-old.
Well, my dad stopped doing that when I was about 5. I admire him. Does he take you to the shops like that still sometimes?
Still does, yeah.
Come on, Joe. Man. Come on, training time.
Yeah. He carries me home after a few beers sometimes. You know what I mean? So.
And you have some children yourself, don't you? You have a couple of boys?
Yeah, 2 boys. Yeah, I have Connor and Joe, 14 and 10.
Okay. So. And, are they showing any signs of boxing? Would you encourage them, or would you discourage them from taking?
To be honest, they're pretty good. They're okay. I take them to the gym, but I don't really want them to box. You know, it's a hard sport, and I do it so they don't have to do it. So that's good.
And does your dad, you know, when he's, you know, does he offer to babysit, and you know, he's got them working out with the bag downstairs?
He does actually. He does take them. I know he does, but he understands. He knows that it's good. It's a great sport, you know, for fitness and everything else, and self-defense. But I wouldn't want him to do it professionally like myself.
It's a kind of sport, you know, I'm not a huge sport fan, but I can understand boxing. I think maybe that's why I've always liked boxing. And when I see, you know, and up to your weight, say, because the biggest weight you box at is light heavyweight, is that right?
I'm light heavyweight champion as well as super middleweight now, so I'm a 2-weight world champion.
Wow. So, and light heavyweight, what's the weight limit on that?
It's only 12.7.
Right, so we're about the same there. Now, so if you're
No, I'm actually about 14 stone. I'm actually weighing about 14 stone. I made 12.7 for the fight, but I'm actually weighing about 14 at the moment, so...
We are
pretty close to the weight, yeah.
I'm about 12 and off. Now, listen, but I like watching the super middleweights, and I don't like it going up too high because it seems to me it's a more skillful fight. You see more blows being traded, you see more kind of footwork. You know, the skill of boxing up to your weight, it's when you get to heavyweight and super heavyweight, halfway through the match, people get and tired, don't they?
Rubbish, isn't they?
Yeah.
Big guys. I just wish I were 3 stone heavier, you know what I mean? That'd be great.
Joe, are you fit enough? Do you think you would be fit enough to compete in the greatest sport arena there is, the gladiators on TV?
No, I don't think so. No way.
Because that bit,
you couldn't do that,
could you?
Could never get that standard.
And the bit at the end,
that bit at the end, was it the travelator?
The travelator.
It's impossible.
Yes, on the travelator.
I never could do that.
Shall we let's do the celebrity gladiators together. Let's do it as a team.
Okay.
A tag team. Okay. I'll be like the coach. Okay.
Yeah, you'll be the coach. Yeah. That's good. I like it.
Said, move it, you I can.
No.
No. Do you actually like boxing? Do you like being in the ring? I'm not talking about sparring or as an exercise. When you're in the ring, and it must be exciting, the adrenaline must be pumping, but there's a guy there who wants to knock your block off. He certainly wants to hurt you if he can. Is there something you can enjoy about that, or is it something to get through and do as well as you can?
You have to enjoy it. You know, you can't fight for money, you know. Well, you do fight for money, but what I'm saying is that can't be a motivation. For me, since the age of 13, motivation was to be a champion, a world champion. That was my dream.
And what age were you when you became world champ?
25, so
25,
11 years. This is the 11th year I'm being world champion.
So what keeps you motivated after that? So the first motivation is I want to be the best, and you become the best. How do you then, what keeps you going after that?
Well, you want to win money. You know, you want to win money and keep proving yourself and keep being a champion. And you want to go down the history as being not just a world champion, but a great world champion. One of the top world champions.
What's the hardest you've been hit, do you think? Or when were you hit the hardest? Was there a time when you were hit and you thought, you know what, maybe...
What, you mean in the ring or outside?
Well, you can do either if you want, but I'm thinking in the ring.
In the ring, the hardest I've been hit, to be honest, I've been down like 3 times in my life and I got straight back up and won.
So when you go down, what happens? You get, is that when they catch you on the chin and you lose it, or you just lost your balance? What happened then?
Well, I like to claim I lost my balance, but it's just like flash knockdowns. I've been down 3 times, got back up, and my head's clear straight away, and I've gone on to win.
So they do that count, do they? Give you a few, they count the 3 or 4 or something?
You sort of come round at 4 and 5 and 6, you think, I just went down. So
what's happening in between there? What do you think? Are you not in a happy place?
I don't think much, you've only got a few seconds, so it's your instinct. You know, everybody, you can't train yourself for a couple of things to have a great chin. And something I've got is a good chin.
So that means that if you get hit there, your neck doesn't go back and you don't get knocked out easy.
Yeah. And how are you going to react when you do go down? Yeah. And it was only in 2003, after boxing for like 20 years, the first time I ever went on the floor. And I boxed a guy called Byron Mitchell, and he caught me a great shot in Cardiff. Crowd went silent, got back up. I thought, I just got knocked down, and I just reacted by staying toe-to-toe, swinging punches with him, and then I managed to knock him out straight afterwards. So
I like to think that's how I would react. However, I suspect I would curl up into a small ball and cry.
Exactly.
Look, you know, when you see a fist coming at you, is there enough time? I mean, is it a flurry of activity? Is it just happening in an instant? Or do you know, you think, I'm going to get caught this time?
You're getting too technical.
Am I?
What are you trying to say?
Well, okay, watch this. When this is coming to that...
slow-mo, so let's do the slow motion.
Okay, when it...
I'm a southpaw, so I go this way.
You're a southpaw?
You're a southpah as well. That's not good.
No, I'm away.
I hate southpaw.
Look, you've got to make sure that finger's up, apparently, for boxing. Do you know that?
So basically, when you put your hand...
Hold it. Where are the keys? Because I normally like to have the keys.
That's all right, man.
Now, most of us, we go here like that, you know, we'd be lying down for like a month, you know? If I go here like that, I'd be applying for maternity leave or whatever the equivalent is. I wouldn't be back at work, OK? But you didn't even go down that time.
No.
And after the fight, are you aware of, do you remember specific punches? You think that hurts because of that?
I knew the 4th round where I got caught with that punch in the 4th round. I knew I had to change my tactics in the fight. So after that round, I managed to stay away from him and box him.
So you didn't go in as close, so you kept him away with jabs and stuff?
Yeah, kept him away a bit more, because, you know, they stung.
Are you ever tempted to jab or kick? You ever tried that?
No, I've never tried that. I go with the head, the elbows occasionally, but
they never know that's coming. They never know that's coming. You ever feel like it wasn't as clean a win as you would have liked to have been?
Yes, occasionally. Everybody, you know, you just want to win. That's the main thing. But I always like to win the style. It's great to knock somebody out, but unfortunately, I've not done that for a couple of fights.
Well, you're fighting tough competitors. Will you miss it when you stop? If and when you stop, will you miss A, the fighting itself, and B, the kind of not adulation as such, but the kind of appreciation you get from fans of people around the world who want to see you, the glory?
Yeah, probably, but at the end of the day, I've done it for 26 years, and there's going to be a time when you got to call it a day. Yeah. And what I want to be is one of the very few fighters that gets out at the right time. So I'm probably going to fight one more fight, and that's going to be it for me. That's going to be the end. So
what are you going to do with your time, though, if and when you retire? What are you going to do with your time? Are you going to have a gym yourself? Are you going to stay in the game? Are you going to coach? Or are you going to commentate? What are you going to do?
I'm not sure, to be honest. You know, boxing is my life, so at the end of the day, it's what I've always done, and maybe I manage to promote myself sometime. Who knows, maybe even train, a bit of commentary, you know, whatever.
You know, how nice to meet you. I'm a fan of what you do. I think you're a tremendously talented man. You know that already. You don't need that from me. But also, congratulations on being Sports Personality of the Year.
Thanks a lot.
And on your CBE that you just received as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So,
where do you keep that? Do you wear it yet? You allowed to wear it?
I haven't received it yet, so...
You haven't received it?
No,
I thought you'd not been in the palace to get it yet?
No, not yet, no. So I'm not beginning the date yet.
OK, I love it to have you here. Joe, great to meet you. Continued success. Do you know when this next fight might be? It may well be your last one, I guess. Any plans?
It's going to be in the winter. I'm hoping to fight Roy Jones Jr., who's a former 4-weight world champion, so I think that'll be a great way to finish off.
Joe, great to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joe Calzaghe, world champion.
Thanks for having me.
If you want to come on the slammer, you're welcome. I'll tell you that. Should we get my next guest out, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. He's a writer, a broadcaster, and a man who successfully has his very own cult. Will you please welcome Mr. Danny Wallace? I like that. It's an unusual jacket you're wearing there.
It is an unusual jacket, yeah.
It's quite strange, but it's quite pleasant.
Thank you very much.
How are you, Danny? It's
I'm
nice to
very
meet
well.
you properly. I bumped into Danny. I don't really know Danny at all. That's fair to say, isn't it?
No.
OK. I knew you were Danny someone. I couldn't place you, and I went, it's Danny Kelly. They put a picture of Danny Kelly up. Now, I didn't think you looked like him.
You actually said, walk into the toilets, and there is Jonathan Ross.
Hold on, no, hang on. Don't make it seem like I was waiting for someone. I wasn't in a cubicle with a door open, like...
It did kind of seem that way. And I walk in, and you're there.
I was on the way out, and you were coming in, that's all.
And he walks up, and he just goes, hey, my kids are massive fans, and I think that's quite good, of Danny Kelly. Which isn't as good. Usually, though, I get Danny Glover quite a lot.
Yeah, well, you see, that's even higher. How can you be mistaken for Danny Glover? Has anyone ever mistaken you for Danny Glover?
It's happened many times. I've signed various autographs in pubs.
Yeah. Let me ask you about these odd things you've done, because they are quite unusual, these pursuits you've embarked upon.
I guess so.
Kind of, I don't know whether you call them campaigns or what do you call them, quests? What do you call what you do?
I don't know. My ex-girlfriend used to call them stupid boy projects. So it's kind of, you know, things that you get up to. Things that seem a good idea for about 5 minutes. Yeah. And then you just keep them going for, you know, months and months.
Do you come up with most of them when you're with other men, maybe in a pub situation? Would that be when they initially appear to you?
Not really. One of them did once, and the rest, they come through boredom or excitement. Okay. So either I'm really bored and I need to be excited, or just something really excites me and I have to do it.
OK, so how did it come about that you wanted to become a king? Was this because you wanted to have your own country first, or was it just you wanted to see if you could become a king? What was the lead up to that?
It was both. I'd found out about various people who just decided to become royalty.
And they just changed their name to king someone, or they actually...
More or less, yeah. They kind of, you know, designed a flag, that kind of thing. So I thought, well, if they can do it, why can't I? Maybe I should be born to this noble kind of quest.
So you are a king now, for all intents and purposes?
Absolutely.
King of what? King of where? King of
Lovely. It's the kingdom of Lovely. I am the king of Lovely, and they are my lovelies.
OK, so you say that... So how did the name Lovely... You chose the name of your country?
There was a public vote. It's the first time in global history that the people decided upon the name, and they went for Lovely. Okay. And it is. It's a lovely place, full of lovely things. There's only, you know...
How many people are you talking about here? These are your citizens? These are the citizens of Lovely?
Yeah, well, it's more than 65,000. And then
no, hang on, no way. You've got 65,000 people?
Yeah, but not all in the country.
No, but there is no actual country, is there?
How dare you? Remember, I'm a king.
I thought you were Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon. But you have people who've said that they would be your citizens, is that
right? Well, the country is... it's a one-bedroom flat in Bow, essentially. So it's in British airspace. But benefits come from that. Benefits are plenty. My mortgage is now international debt. I've been breaking records since day one. My country is the only fully double-glazed country in the world. Wow, that's so it's pretty good stuff.
And you made a TV show about that, didn't you, as well? OK. What about the other thing, this How to Join Me? Was that a show as well, or is that a...
No.
Is that the same thing? That's a different thing?
A different thing. That came about kind of through boredom. I put an advert in the paper, and it just said, join me. Send one passport-sized photo too, and then my address.
Which paper did you put it in?
It was in Loot.
In Loot magazine?
Yeah. And I thought, you know, if I put the passport photo thing there, you know, it's a kind of... The people who sent me a photo would be kind of putting their faith in the unknown. And I wanted to see whether people would join something without knowing who they were joining, or what they were joining, or why they were joining, or even what joining was. And I expected maybe 50 or 60,000 passport photos to arrive the next day.
How many did you get?
None. None. And the next day, or the day after, or the day after that. And I'd kind of forgotten about it until about a week later. And I was opening up my mail, and there was a passport photo, and there was a very jolly-looking man on there, and he just wrote me a letter. His name was Jonesy, and he went, yes, I will join you. Wow. And I knew there and then that I was a leader of men. A man. I was a leader of a man.
Was it from an official institution or any kind of a closed building that he...
No, it was Camden, which is as good as, I suppose.
And how many did it grow to in the end? How many people did you manage to attract?
Well, it grew very, very quickly, and there was a website and all that kind of stuff, and I ended up on a chat show in Belgium, that kind of thing, talking to the Belgian Jonathan Ross, essentially. So suddenly I had too many Belgians, to be honest with you.
There's a talk show on Belgian.
Yeah.
Do they speak Belge on it or English?
Gillette's the show. It's called.
And did you have to speak Belge?
No, I walked in, and I realised I passed a little room, and I saw there's a person there who was employed basically to do the subtitles. And so I'm talking to the fella like I'm talking to you now, and I suddenly realised maybe I'm talking a little too quickly, and I say, sorry, should I slow down? Because I don't want the person next door. And he's going, it's fine. I'm going, maybe I should just make up some words. So just to get a dictionary out, going, saying? Yeah. And he goes, no, don't do that. And I go, I won't do that. That would be Lebstrominus of me.
OK, so you genuinely have quite a lot of Belgian members of this cult, then?
Yeah, and Belgian, from everywhere, Thailand, Sweden, America, and I had to come up with a point after a while,
yeah,
and so I decided to use my powers for good, rather than what I imagine you would do. I can see the spark in your eye, just pure evil.
Don't imagine. I wouldn't be evil. I'm not an evil person.
What would you do if you had your own cult?
I would make them garden for me.
Yeah, but you know what? My cult could probably help with that, because I asked them to undertake a random act of kindness to strangers each and every Friday. So it became this karma army, so people would do good deeds. So I imagine, you know, if you let them through your door, they'd help you out.
Yeah, I wouldn't let them in.
OK.
So you all do a little good deed on a Friday?
Yeah,
you included?
Yeah, we all do them, yeah. So
what sort of scale of deed are we talking about here? How big
it can be as small as you like, so it could be smiling a bit more, or opening a door for someone, or it can be bigger. One guy got up very early and did wash all his neighbours' cars.
That's a nice thing to do.
I think he was drunk from the night.
Yeah, that was right. Now, here's another scheme Danny got involved in. This one sounds like potentially this could have been a recipe for disaster. Right. Yes man, deciding to become a yes man.
Yeah.
When did this come about, and what happened here? How was this affect your life?
Well, I realised that I'd kind of been saying no a lot. And my friends would phone up and they'd say, do you want to come down the pub and hang out, or maybe go to a gig? And I'd go, I can't, I'm doing a thing.
Just because you're getting older, too, you don't want to go out so much.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is, Danny.
It seemed a pity and a shame.
How old are you now, Danny?
I'm 31 years old.
There you go. Once you turn 30, you stop going out quite so much.
That's what I found.
You slow down. Once you turn 40, you stop going out altogether.
Entirely.
And once you start to turn 50, no one invites you out anymore.
So you become a no-man.
You become essentially a hermit.
It's a sad story.
So you were saying no?
I was saying no, and I wasn't going out. And through a set of circumstances, someone said something to me which really struck a chord, which was say yes more. And I thought, yeah, I will. And because I'm a boy, I will say yes to everything.
So to everything?
Well, at first, I thought it was just going to be 24 hours. So I thought, I will say yes to everything. Every request, favour, suggestion for 24 hours. A day of relentless positivity.
You set yourself a challenge?
Yeah, 24 hours worth.
What were the first few things that you had to say yes to that you wouldn't normally say yes to?
Well, I was excited the first morning, and I was kind of thinking anything could happen. Yeah. Nothing much was happening. And then the phone rang. And I thought, this is it. This is my chance. I'm going to say yes now. And I answered it, and I said, hello. And a fellow went, Mr. Wallace. And I went, yes.
It's quite tense.
It was very tense. Yeah. Quite exciting, though. And he said, hello, I'm just phoning from Mark 1 double glazing in London. Exactly. I just wondered if you'd like a free, no-obligation quote for double glazing. Oh. And I went, yes.
I bet he almost fell off his stool, didn't he?
He went, really? I went, yeah. He went, it's never gone this well before. And I went, what do we do now? And he said, we should have a meeting. And I said, yes. And he said, well, when's good for you? I said, when's good for you? And he said, Tuesday. And I went, yeah. And he said, 2 o'clock. And I went, yeah. And then I sort of looked around the flat, and as we've established, I am already fully double glazed. Yeah. And I kind of went, there might be a little problem here. He's going, what? I'm just saying, a little problem. Doesn't have to be a problem at all. I mean, I'm just saying I'm already got double glazing. And he goes, right. And I go, you still come round, give me a quote, talk about the weather, it'd be nice. And he goes, are you wasting my time? And I go, yes. So there was that.
Well, that kind of worked out OK, though, didn't it? In a way, you got back there. OK. Now, presumably you spent more money buying people drinks and stuff like that, or did you not?
I kept it quite quiet for my friends, because obviously that would be the first thing.
You told them, I'm going to say yes to everything, they would take advantage.
Yeah, absolutely,
You'd wake up with a pineapple up your I'm assuming. I don't know who you hang out with.
Not those people.
But did anything happen like... and did your partner, you're married, yeah?
Yeah.
Did she know about this? Did she take advantage of this?
I wasn't at the time.
Is that how you got married?
Well, that may or may not be involved in the story somewhere.
OK. But I believe, Yes Man, the situation you're into, that's being made into a movie, is that right?
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's just... I saw it this week, actually, or first cut.
And that's Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey's playing you in the film.
Yeah.
And so that's exciting, man. How did that happen? They heard about it and they just came...
They phoned up and I said yes, basically. It was kind of quite easy like that. But no, it's hugely exciting and very, very surreal.
And is it based on the actual events that took place, or have they kind of, you know,
it's a broad... It takes the broad themes of it, which is saying yes. Okay. But, you know, he falls over a lot more than I ever did.
Is that the scene with the double glazing man there, or is that another scene there? What's going on there?
That's Terence Stamp being the kind of the mentor, the guy that tells him to say yes.
Say yes, OK. But how did it play? You don't want to spoil the ending for us, but what happened? Did you get yourself any situations that were difficult? For example, did you avoid certain places you would normally go to just because you didn't want to be cornered into saying yes?
I ended up in Amsterdam. which is a dangerous place to be.
It's a fun place to be. Would you recommend it to people? I mean, it seems a bit of a crazy, but would you recommend people? Presumably you enjoyed the experience.
It was great. It was perfect. What I would say is say yes more, not
just
say
generally.
yes to everything. Yeah, absolutely. Because I think that one of the things I learned is that throughout life, I guess the things that you tend to regret are the things that you said no to, because you don't know how it could have turned out. And there's a sort of a sadness to that. So you don't know who you could have met, or how that could have gone, or what could have happened, or what it could have led to.
That's a good philosophy. So do more things with your time.
Do more things. And if, you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. You've made it. You can move on.
Yeah, well, that's a healthy attitude, I guess.
Yeah,
Who were you there with?
Amsterdam. I was just there.
You were just there. How did you get there? Who asked you to go to Amsterdam?
Basically, when you start throwing yourself open to the yes philosophy, you'll find yeses everywhere. I, said yes to all my spam email.
OK, let's talk about this new book, Friends Like These.
Friends Like These.
This isn't a movie or a TV series, this is just a book?
It's a book.
OK, I've been reading this book, I've enjoyed it. I've got another bit where you've got back and you've just met Michael and you're going to visit someone else.
Oh, cool.
It's an unusual story. Once again, this is another thing. It did seem to me like maybe you need a focus in your life, Danny. Because you just seem to be sitting around and you just come out with these... Have you ever had, like, a proper job?
I worked at Argos when I was 16, so no. No, I haven't.
So, but would you not want a proper job, or you just enjoy doing these things with your time? I mean, where do you want to be in 10 years' time, Danny Wallace? Where are you going to be? You're going to look back and say, yeah, I said yes for 6 months, and I met all my old friends again. But, do you not want to leave something behind of lasting? You want to do something that fills you with pride? Or is this it for you? Do you like doing these things that much?
I don't know. I like to do things that are fun.
Whimsy.
Yeah, a bit of whimsy. So as long as I'm having fun in 10 years' time, I don't mind who I'm with or where that is or what's going on.
So what's the story behind Friends Like These? Because this is to do with you getting older and not being that happy about it, really. Is that right?
Yeah. It's to do with... I was turning 30, basically, and I don't know, things had changed a bit. I used to live in the East End and sort of drinking dingy boozers and see my mates, and my fridge was just full of Dairy Dunkers and processed meats and cheese in pre-sliced.
You live in the life of a young man.
Yeah, a young man. And then suddenly I was living in a new area of town, and I was married, and I had, ready access to Basil. My living room had a dramatic focal point. I was drinking crisp white wine, things like that. I had display cushions. I had hundreds of cushions that were there, not for bottoms, that was the rule.
Just to make the place
just to look
nice.
at, cushions to look at. I was watching Homes Under the Hammer. So, life was a nightmare.
Your life had gone tragically wrong.
You
had to grab hold of it again.
Yeah.
So what instigated the change? When did you decide, I've got to shake things up?
My parents sent me a box full of stuff that they didn't really want in their house but didn't want to throw away either, full of school reports and letters and photos and stuff. And in there was an address book with 12 names in. And they were the names of my best mates growing up. And I moved around a lot as a kid, different schools.
You lost touch, yeah?
Lost touch, yeah. And I just thought, if I'm getting older, if I'm becoming a man, and if I've got display cushions, I wonder if they have as well. And so I just thought, well, I'll track them down and I'll turn up wherever they are in the world, knock on their door and say, hello, you last saw me in a McDonald's in East Midlands in the 1980s. Are you coming out to play? And they did.
What was the most interesting thing, what was the most surprising thing about the way they were today as opposed to the way you remember them?
Well, I mean, I think you'd assume that most of your friends would be working, like, in IT or something when you set out.
Yeah.
And I set out and I found one of them is essentially a Fijian prince.
He's a prince in Fiji?
Yeah, he's got his own village called Nabuso, where they're not allowed to make eye contact.
You claim to be a king in the East End of London. He's probably just winding
This
you up.
is genuinely true. And he came to our normal state school in Loughborough and just hung out for a year.
A Fijian prince?
A Fijian prince. He's now working in IT, actually. that is genuinely true.
OK.
Another one is a hardcore German rapper.
Wow.
Yeah, and I turned up in Berlin and was picked up in this blacked-out, sort of blinged-up Merc. I looked like the company accountant. It wasn't a good look.
A hardcore German rapper?
Hardcore German rapper. And another one runs a Toby Carvery outside Nottingham, and I tracked him down, went to meet him. He gave me a free Toby meal. It was lovely. Yeah. And then I'm sort of finding out a bit more about him. And he's gone slightly David Brent. He was the sort of the scruffy kid at school, and now he's got a suit and he's kind of going, oh, we have fun here, but we do get the work done. That is important. We serve 3,000 dinners a week, 3,500 at bank holidays, and it kind of peters out. And I'm looking for something, and I go, well, have you got any hobbies or interests? And I'm hoping he's going to say, I enjoy badminton or kabaddi or something like that. And he thinks about it for a while, and he can't think of anything. And then eventually he goes, for the last 10 years, I've been working on my own independent theory of time travel. Bingo.
While serving in the Toby Carvery?
While serving in Toby Carvery, he goes to his little back room and sorts out, basically, time travel. He reckons he solved it. Yeah. He solved string theory. That was by accident. He didn't mean to do that, but that worked out well. But he got a bit annoyed and went, you try telling Hawking this stuff. He doesn't listen.
How does your partner, how does your wife cope with all this? Because she must just be living in dread of what you're going to start doing next.
She enjoys it secretly.
Yeah, does she?
Yeah, exactly. It keeps her in display cushions.
OK. What about when you start having children stuff? You're going to have to change your lifestyle then, aren't you, Danny?
I guess so. Do you know something I don't?
No. I just wonder, you know, one day you're going to have to...
Settle down.
Well, what are you going to do with kids? How are you going to do that with kids?
I don't know. Please don't make me worry. My whole life is ahead of me, isn't it?
Yeah, but you're still acting like a youngster. You're having too much fun. I want to see that stop.
It's a new adventure. Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's a new adventure, isn't it?
I tell you, go away, have some kids, grow a big face like Danny Kelly, and then come back and tell us how you enjoy it.
The other time I met you, you won't remember this. We were at the same wedding a few years ago, and you were there, and you know, you seemed very approachable and that kind of stuff, and the music was on, and the ceremony was over, and I saw you there, and you were watching lovingly as your family, you know, jumped around, and we're all jaunty and we're dancing, and I was going to the bar, and I just thought, this is a nice little moment. He seems like a good guy, and I sort of walked up and went, you've got a lovely family, and you looked at me as if I'd said, hello, I'm going to kidnap your family. Well, have you got something to say to me?
Maybe you looked a bit weird or something. You know? It's a bit that you're at a wedding looking at your family and some blokes and go, they're lovely. You know? Yeah, you've got to think about what... Yeah. You've got to think about how you look. You look a bit creepy for a start, right? Right? And then you come up to someone at a wedding, a decent man, an honourable man, a working man. Hey, Danny, you know, I've been reading his new book, and it's a really good read. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know how it turns out. I'm looking forward to finding out.
I die in the end.
It's great fun. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Danny Wallace. That was great, thank you, Danny. Really good fun. I am enjoying it. All right, OK, take care. Danny Wallace. It's a funny book. Shall we get my final guest out, ladies and gentlemen? Sienna Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Sienna, lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How are you? You look very well.
Thank you, I am very well.
Good, I'm pleased to hear.
Thank you.
Now, I understand, and I don't know if this is true or not, whether maybe you were just saying this, but you're genuinely a big fan of Joe Calzaghe, is that right?
It's quite embarrassing, but I am.
You're a boxing
And now
fan?
I've met him, so now I can't do it because he's back there and it's
You can't do what? What were you going to do?
Well, no, just...
Be a big fan?
No, I can be a big fan.
OK. But you like boxing yourself as a sport?
I do, which is weird. I mean, it's quite a violent sport, but it gets me riled up.
Does it? It gets you riled up, or it gets you a little bit excited?
A bit, not...
Doesn't get you... Well...
Not like that, you know, just a little bit, you know, Larry.
Have you been to see any live matches?
No, I've been to pubs. I've watched it in pubs.
You watched it in pubs?
The last fight, the Hopkins fight, in a pub in California.
That must have been exciting.
An English pub. I tracked down the one English pub.
Oh. Well, you speaking about being in California. Have you been to Wales, though? You've been filming in Wales recently.
Yeah, we filmed in Wales last year. I love Wales.
Do you have to be nice about the places you visited? You got in trouble recently by being a little bit honest about somebody, didn't you?
I did. About Pittsburgh.
OK, I know. I don't want to stir this up again. But
I mean, to be honest, the damage is done.
So you didn't take the
I did Cockney rhyming slang on the word pit.
And you said
it
was...
followed it with Berg, and it came out...
And were you describing this to someone?
I was doing an interview. This is what happens. I say stupid things.
Yeah, that's not... Yeah,
it wasn't clever, but it was...
You were just trying to be, I guess, funny.
Funny, yeah, in my own way. So I called it and that didn't go down too well with the people from Pittsburgh.
And they let you know?
Yeah, I had to meet the mayor live on TV and apologise to the town.
You had to go on TV
It was just awful. I was doing a film, unfortunately, entitled The Mysteries of Pittsburgh. So it's in the title, do you know what I mean? Awful.
People will be going around and changing the posters.
Yeah, and great.
So you had to go on. You decided this was like damage control, yeah?
Well, no, the producers did it. I thought it was a joke. I had people outside the window going, "Go home, Sienna," with banners, and I woke up thinking that this noise was, you know, a joke. It wasn't. There was Sienna the Witch posters around. I had to meet the mayor live on TV. I had to come out of the makeup. They said, go into the makeup bus, come out and meet the mayor and apologise. And they put him sort of 3 streets down. So I had a 200-metre walk of shame.
No, and were people jeering?
Like, awful, just sort of trying to be like, really awkward, got there. And there was a giant life-size cutout of me, which was mildly distracting.
Why did they have that there, in case you didn't turn up?
Well, so they had to then describe what I'd said without saying So they were like, she said... something that rhymes with pit, begins with an S, la la la. the life-size cutout, they'd taken me around Pittsburgh to apparently show me what was good about it all day on TV.
And what you just said, I'm very sorry
I just said I didn't mean it, it rhymes. I'm from England,
And that's it.
funny.
That's it.
You know, it was more, it was awful.
Before we talk about the new movie, which was shot in Wales, I know, I'm interested in the film you've just finished, because you've just done a big action film, haven't you?
I did, called G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Now, the G.I. Joe, if you don't know, that's the kind of toy they have in America where we had Action Man.
Is it? It's the same thing, isn't it?
It's not as good as Action Man, but it's sort of like Action Man. G.I. Joe was the same sort of thing with lots of a boy's toy. How do they make a movie just based on an action figure?
Well, I thought G.I. Joe was one man called Joe who was a G.I., and that's not true. Actually, it was a group of sort of the best sort of fighting people. I'm a baddie, so I don't care about them.
So you're a baddie in it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to have
Believe it or not, I know, I can't.
Well, there's not a lot of you, you're not...
Guns, I know. I had every intention of going and working out and being... It just didn't happen.
Okay.
The 1 hour of fight training a day was far too much.
What kind of clothes do you wear for this? Do you have to
Black
use it like
leather.
a tight black leather outfit?
Tight black leather.
Okay, boots?
Boots, guns,
Okay.
holsters, thingies.
They're not called holsters, there's bras.
There's nothing there.
So that's finished now, is that finished?
That's all done.
Okay, and how much of your life is that? How long do you spend doing a film like that?
That was 5 months.
Okay, so it's quite a
I
long
finished
time.
on Sunday.
That's a big chunk of time.
It's a big chunk of time.
Okay, let me ask you about. We mentioned that you're a fan of Joe, and you said you like being in Wales. It's the edge of love, isn't it?
Yeah.
This new movie, it's set in Wales. It's about a Welsh poet, of course,
Yes.
the great Dylan Thomas.
Yeah.
Who do you play in it? What's the kind of story? The triangle.
I
involved
play
with Dylan?
Caitlin Thomas, who is Dylan Thomas's wife, and then there's Keira Knightley, who plays Vera Phillips, and Cillian Murphy, who plays someone else, and it's all sort of about these 4 people, and there's kind of love triangles and all sorts of friendship and betrayal
And how much of it is true? How much of this story actually took place?
Well, it's based on... I mean, there's an event that happens in the film that's kind of the climax of it. And that did happen, but
Yeah,
so
so
it's
you
not
guys-
a biopic, it's based on fact.
But you kind of know those people were in those places at that time, and some of those things
yeah,
happened.
I mean, poetic license.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you working with Keira Knightley, that's a kind of field day for the newspapers there,
Yes.
because you're the two kind of like glamorous young actresses we have in this country. They are, you know, people love seeing you, they love seeing you in movies, they love speculating on what you're doing. I guess there were a lot of people taking photographs.
There were. We actually had to redo a lot of the dialogue from the scenes, because in the background you can hear the clicking.
So that they can't stop the guys coming and taking pictures of you.
Well,
when
no,
you
we were
film.
on a public beach, so
So
they
they
were
can
on the
do that.
beach, yeah. It
And
was, you know, it was weird.
You know, I
Then
read
a scene we were doing was on YouTube by that night.
But that's annoying. That's
A
irritating.
little
when people do
bit for the director.
that. Is that because it was you and Keira, I guess, because it's such a
Yeah.
big story for people? It's a beautiful looking film.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful
It
shot
is.
movie.
It's one of the most beautiful shots.
This is the kind of movie you prefer making? You like doing this, or do you like to juggle it up? Is it?
I think the variety is great. I think on the whole, probably prefer... I love kind of the emotional... Yeah, I mean, just very well-written, character-based stuff, I think is...
And it's nice for you to get those kind of parts, because initially you were getting film parts because you're a gorgeous young woman. Now you're being given the chance to act more, of course.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I really liked the film. I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you, good.
And I
I'm
really think
glad.
it's very impressive. The director's very impressive.
Yeah.
When you finish a movie like that, how much of it do you take away with it? How much do you sort of like miss working? I mean, do you? I guess you miss the people you're with initially,
Yeah.
but how long before you kind of forget all about it?
I mean, it just depends on how good... This was a really fun one. But we all sort of kept in touch, so it depends. I mean, G.I. Joe's gone.
Yeah.
This was 4 days ago, gone, done.
I saw you in the film. I don't know if you saw Sienna in this movie. It was called Factory Girl. I don't think it was it was never going to be a big commercial movie
No,
as such.
independent.
Playing the character Edie Sedgwick, who was the real-life person who hung up with Andy Warhol. I really liked this movie as well. It was a peculiar kind of topic for film, I think. It was quite a strange choice. It was interesting. That was a kind of breakthrough role for you, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the first time I'd really had the opportunity to do something that was not completely gratuitous. I mean, I'd done other things, but it was a really proper, meaty role.
Yeah. So when you were doing the gratuitous parts, did you think, OK, these are just going to get me where I want to go? I have
Well,
to
I
go
mean,
for
no,
this.
to me, they always had substance. I mean, Layer Cake was quite...
Well, it was quite... But great to be in a movie with
But
Daniel Craig.
and it was a great movie.
Yeah.
And all of those things. But, I mean, there wasn't a lot of acting required. But then, you know, since then, there was other things. It was just the first role that required kind of a lot of drama and emotion. And...
You've worked pretty solidly, haven't you? I mean, since I first saw you in Layer Cake, you know, there's been a movie coming out. It seems like a couple of years you've worked with. You're really grafting. Presumably this is because the work's coming your way. But do you get enough time? Do you have time where you think, OK, I'm not going to work for a year or 6 months?
I do, but inevitably then you read something that's fantastic and then I can't say no. Because I love it. I love my job and I love to work.
All right. Are you a party girl? You like going out? You like drinking?
What do you think? I mean, not as much as it's made out. I do. I mean, I can, you know, I've been having...
When was the last time you got completely... and I'll use... Yes.
was... When was it? OK. Saturday night, the wrap party of my film.
Okay.
Not completely. The thing is, I can handle it.
So you can handle it. So you.
I can drink most grown men under a table and be fine.
And how do you get when you're drunk? When you get really drunk, what sort of a drunk person are you?
I'm not like a mean one. I'm just quite.
No,
I get a bit louder.
Bit giggly.
Bit giggly.
Bit too affectionate with people.
Well, who doesn't?
Have you ever woken up in a skip?
No. No, I don't. I mean, I'm not. I don't. Oh God. No, I haven't. Have you?
Okay.
You obviously have. Yeah, fair enough.
I lived in one for about 3 months, but no, it wasn't because of drinking. It was a very nice place. All right, where do you live now? Where do you consider your home? Do you live here in London or LA? Okay.
London.
Where? North London? It's somewhere in North London?
Northwest London, yeah.
Okay, could you envision a day when you'd like to move away? Would you want to move to Europe, or you'd like to live in LA where the work is, or you always want to be...
I was just, well, having been in LA, I never really liked it before, and I've just been there for like 4 months, and it was actually fantastic.
Well, you get lovely weather
After a
there.
while, well, it's the weather, it's very laid back, you've got the beach, make a pot of coffee, go and watch the surfers, it's quite a nice life.
Can you yourself surf?
Badly.
I get the feeling you're not that sporty, really.
I am actually.
No,
so
no, you're not.
No, I am.
You
no.
clearly, you're not.
Right.
What do you do with a sporty?
I did lots of sport at school.
Not at school. We all were forced to do sport
I
at
don't
school.
work out.
We were
no.
also forced to do religious education.
No, but I
that doesn't
played
mean
like
you're a priest.
county running. I ran for Berkshire.
Okay, you ran for Berkshire. Okay. No, but Sienna, I must be. What do you do now? The sport, apart from, but you don't do any sport, would you?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Nothing. Yoga like once a year.
That's not a sport.
Well, it's as close to sport as. What do you do?
Too much. Look, thank you for coming on the show. I think you're a very talented young person. I suspect it would be quite horrible being you sometimes. And you know what I mean?
No, yes.
I don't mean day to day, sorry. I don't mean like waking up on a skip. I mean like, what you have to endure and what you have to deal with.
I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty content.
Well, that's the only way to be. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to try and rise above it. Lovely to have you here. Thank you for coming
Thank
in. And
you.
you know what? I really did like the movie. I was can I be honest, I was sort of dreading it a bit. I thought,
What, arty-farty?
2 hours of a couple of people fighting over Dylan Thomas, but it's beautifully made and it's a lovely piece of work. Thank you for coming on the show. Hey, Sienna, thanks for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Sienna Miller. Thank you, Sienna. Thank you.